Trump's tweets and the Streisand effect. The following audio was something that Tabitha and I recorded while we were in the car, so sorry about the sound quality, folks. Before we begin, I'd like to express a thought that I did not mention in the following recording, which is the following. CNN, the Young Turks, etc., these media companies are perpetuating rape, murder, terrorism, etc. When you deny epidemics are happening, when you downplay epidemics, when you try to persecute people who point out epidemics, you are covering up, perpetuating, aiding, and abetting. Okay, so CNN, the Young Turks, etc., they are aiding and abetting terrorists, rapists, killers of gay people, or people who they accuse of being gay. You know, they throw them off rooftops, people. You are, say, Cenk Uygur. He's not just guilty of denying a Holocaust and then rubbing people's faces in it. He actually is also perpetuating terrorism, rape, and etc. Okay, so fuck you, CNN. Fuck you, the Young Turks. And fuck you to all the media companies out there who are perpetuating this stuff by trying to deny that it happens. You are making it worse. Go die. Also, all of you people out there who are, oh, Trump's a Nazi for mentioning what happens. Oh my God, he's a Muslimophobe, he's an Islamophobe. Okay, you have blood on your hands. You are in fact increasing terrorism. You are in fact increasing rape. Okay, you have blood on your hands. You are guilty. You are scum. Okay, because your own virtue signaling is more important to you than actual victims of physical violence. So go stop breathing, you scum. Okay, so here's what Tabitha and I had to say about this last night.
Yesterday, or the day before, depending on how long it takes for me to put this video out, apparently Trump tweeted out videos showing, purportedly showing Muslims doing bad things. Some of them actually are real. Supposedly one or two of those are not actually Muslims doing anything. I don't really know. Didn't really look into it very much myself, and it's not that important that I didn't look very much into it myself because of the principle of the matter. Well, here's a few different observations. Everybody's mad because supposedly, and I don't believe this, nor do I disbelieve this, supposedly the source are baddies. Okay? So apparently you can't tell the truth if bad people say it first. So apparently if Hitler says 2 + 2 is 4, you can't say 2 + 2 is 4 because that's what Hitler said. You have to say 2 + 2 is 5. TYT, they go, okay, so this one clip of a brown-skinned boy beating up a white-skinned boy, that boy's not even a Muslim, and this has been debunked and blah, blah, blah. I don't know about that, but let's just say that's true, okay? They also still show the part where a quote-unquote gay person, or at least a person accused of being gay, is being thrown off of a rooftop somewhere in the Middle East. Okay? They showed that part. They showed a couple of other things. So here's the funny thing. They're trying their best to put out a story against Trump, and they're actually exposing millions of people of actual, you know, people being thrown off a rooftop because they're supposedly gay in the Middle East. Mm-hmm. So they're actually...
They're helping, but that's what they do.
They're actually helping the cause to fight against the ignorance of Islam.
Just like CNN, when Trump said that in Sweden, the rape epidemic is like this, even though he got his percentage wrong, he addressed an issue that was happening there that the media wasn't talking about, and that Sweden was trying to sweep under the rug. And what happened? Everybody in this country heard about it, researched it, found out what was actually true about it, which that it does happen, it is an epidemic, but here are the real numbers, which are still horrendous and unbelievable. Plus, we added learning about the pedophilia cases going on there, the forced marriages going on there, and the gay bashing going on there. Yeah. We also learned about those, because why? You fucking monkey reporters tried to make something seem racist, and tried to make a president who, yes, isn't the most tactful human being, but is smart enough to know how to manipulate your dumbasses into finally telling the truth.
The Streisand effect on that one. And also on this one, too.
He does it on all of them. Yeah. Has no one thought that he purposely does this? That he purposely says something because he knows, cause this is somebody who works in the limelight. That has been the majority of his career, is knowing how to make the paparazzi, the public, and whatever think different things.
And it's not hard to do, because I've done that online
it's not.
too.
They're fucking idiots.
I don't know, I mean, some of you actually have seen this because you follow me on social media. I can make a post saying that I am against racism and violence and homophobia and just leave it at that. And people will say, you sound like a Muslimophobe, or whatever, simply because I'm against violence and hatred. Oh! So now,
and then they go and they look through all of your fucking YouTube videos, which ends up paying you, which is like... So you hate me, but you helped me.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go with that.
So now what we were saying earlier is, so Trump tweeted this out and the media decided that they had three choices.
They had three options. Well, this is something that I read by somebody who was making a comment on the whole thing, and he's completely fucking right. He said that they can either acknowledge that Trump was correct.
Right.
Or they can try and say that Trump is Islamophobic, therefore inadvertently acknowledging that, yes, Islam and Muslims are at fault here.
That he's talking about Muslims and not just it's not Muslims,
Or they can take option 3, which is to try and sway it to make it seem like Trump is racist for tweeting or sharing this video because of its source, which is what they chose.
Yeah.
And then the end quote was, regardless... Because that's the option they actually went with. They went with option 3. Regardless of choosing option 3, they have still done, like you said, the Streisand effect. He didn't use that term, but it's exactly what they've done.
Yeah.
They've drawn attention to a problem. And now, because us, the American people, we're going to research, because we still have that ability to actually look this stuff up and go, holy shit, we're going to descend on it like... locust on a field of grain, and we're just going to devour every little bit of information on that subject. And then the last thing he said was, be prepared. Because, as we did with the Sweden thing, when the American public learned about that, if you weren't an SJW dipshit with your head so far up your ass that you might just actually disappear,
right?
You know, that whole whoop and you're gone, then you were outraged at the fact that Sweden was hiding the atrocities going on in its country. You were like, we were all like, are you fucking kidding me? You are so against your own populace that you're going to let this happen, and not only let it happen, but try and hide it from the rest of the world to fucking save face.
They even tried, and they may, I'm not sure, have succeeded in making it illegal to write down in your crime statistics to say who committed what crime.
Yes, so, it's not legal there.
So anymore. As they let the migrants in, correspondingly, rapes are going up. But they're not allowed to say who's raping. Because it's racist.
Yep.
Or in their actual terms, quote, because it serves no purpose, unquote. It makes no sense to try to solve a crime when you're not allowed to identify or describe the perp, right? Similarly, it makes no sense to not allow people to discuss or to try to discourage and silence discussion of motive. Okay? What's the number one thing when solving a crime? Well, maybe it's not the number one thing, but it's crucial to pay attention to motives if you're going to solve a crime. Okay? So they want to take away the ability to identify the perpetrator and to figure out their motive. Now, if you don't know what I'm saying, people, look at major news articles about Islamic terrorist attacks over the last couple of years. You'll see it go from saying Muslim terrorism to just terrorism.
To not even that.
To not even that. So now, and sometimes they don't even want to mention a human being was involved.
That's how you know it was Islam.
Right. So for example, last year. Tell now. Yeah. So for like last year, the headline should have been Muslim terrorist explodes bomb in New York City. The actual headlines were bomb or explosion happens in New York City. They don't use the word bomb or even indicate that a human was involved in the headline anymore. And I've done a few videos where I have detailed, I've gone through fucking major news stream media after terrorist attacks and shown you that they do not use the word Muslim, Islam, or terrorism anymore in most reports, left-wing and right-wing. Yeah. You only get it from these fringy, crazy newspapers to actually identify.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Because, okay, if somebody steals my car, how is it easier to find the person who stole my car?
You describe them.
Because here's the thing. There are, like, okay, say in my town, even if it's a small town, there are 50 people with the exact same make and model of car. Only license plates vary. Alright? So the license plates can be switched out. Yeah. So the cops are going to go, okay, we have to find this car. This make and model. Okay, well, there's 50 people driving that exact kind of car. Mm-hmm. Let's narrow it down a bit. Oh, yeah. But we can't mention what the person looks like. So I can't describe to you what one of the 50 people driving that car should not look like.
Right.
Okay?
And so they
it shouldn't be that person. It's that motherfucker right there who's driving the car. But I can't mention that.
Right.
Because you all don't want to look bad. Well, guess what? You look really fucking stupid.
Alright, so in closing,
I happen to like sitting back and watching you monkeys fling shit at each other and actually expose the truth without wanting to expose the truth.
Yeah, so
it's glorious to watch how stupid people are.
Thank you to the Young Turks and probably CNN and other companies who are actually showing video of Muslims actually throwing people off of buildings for the crime, or at least they're accusing them of, being gay. Thank you. Millions of people now know what you did not want them to know. Thank you very much, you morons.
By the way, in this report by the Young Turks about these tweets from Trump, they actually say the following with a straight face. You ready?
Well, just to let you know, yesterday it was reported that Libyan media is questioning the authenticity of CNN's slavery report after a tweet from President Trump calling CNN International a major source of fake news.
As if CNN were not a major source of fake news. Just like the Young Turks, who were trying to insinuate that CNN is not a major source of fake news. Yes, I know Fox lies. Yes, I know InfoWars is paranoid conspiracy theory stuff. Yes, I know. Okay, that doesn't excuse the fact that CNN is fake news and TYT, also fake news, is trying to make you think that CNN is not fake news. And then they go on to say this.
God, seriously, I'm just waiting for the day, right, that half of America is wiped out because the warning of an incoming North Korean missile was reported by CNN, so people ignored the fake news.
Which would be the fault of CNN. Idiots! Look, if you cry wolf over and over again, and there is no wolf, and right now this guy's saying, oh, but see, one of these days there's gonna be a wolf, and the wolf's gonna eat the person, and nobody's gonna believe it, because nobody believes when the boy cries wolf. Yeah, if you lie over and over and over again, and nobody believes you when you tell the truth, that's your fault, you morons!
His tweets have repercussions, so can we stop...
Yeah, you know what else has repercussions? You're lying, your obfuscation, okay? You have blood on your hands, okay? Because when you try to lie or to avoid reporting the facts about Muslim migrants raping and killing people and terrorism and all that kind of stuff, you are guilty, okay? This is partially your fault, okay? You are guilty, okay? Go home, think about it, maybe stop breathing. And if you don't stop breathing, at least stop breeding.
And by the way, folks, what I've intentionally not mentioned up until now to separate out the idiots, when you allow bad Muslims to just do what they want, to commit acts of terror, to rape, and when you downplay it, and when you try to avoid it, all that, you know who suffers the most in all of that? The minorities within the minorities, as Maji Nawaz on your screen there. Maji Nawaz, the Muslim reformer, likes to remind us. Okay, so if you're like, oh, well, white people in Europe, they're bad, they're all Nazis, so screw them, let them get raped and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. How about, let's say, the LBGT Muslim? How about the little girl who's being raped by
you know, some guy because they're married in England, okay? That's who suffers the most. You are perpetuating the abuse, rape, murder of the minorities within the minorities. Do you care yet?
Alright folks, what do you think? Leave us a comment. Peace, love, freedom and equality, love, life, light, liberty, and leaping laughter. Thanks for watching. Scroll down, click on the links, see my backup channels, my backup social media for as long as they stay up. Twitter, Facebook, my alternate YouTube channel, Just Infidel, you know, Just Infidel. And then there's the social media platforms that are sort of outside of this politically correct jihad. I'm talking about Minds, for example, and Gab, and Bitchute, which is like YouTube. There's also VidMe and Vimeo. Also, even if you have already subscribed to my channel, make sure that you are still subscribed because they do unsubscribe people. And make sure you have clicked this little bell icon right here, otherwise they'll never tell you when I have a new video out.